Hey guys. So it's been gorgeous for several weeks, or a week at least. I guess about a week. Beautiful 70s, high 70s. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And now all of a sudden it's snowing. Wacko weather. So, affirmation for the day. I move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step I take is perfectly guided. Now, it seems like we got this one um, earlier, like late in the week, maybe over the weekend. I don't know. But maybe I don't think I did one Sunday or Monday, but Saturday. So maybe Saturday, maybe Friday or Saturday. I move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step I take is perfectly guided. Um, that is usually happens or usually comes up whenever there is confusion, confusion, and um, or fear of making the wrong choice. Um, I move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step I take is perfectly guided. So it sounds like it's kind of in line with the read, actually, because the read is very confused. Um, this read is really confused, and there's multiple people. I am thinking that, um, anyway, I'll get to that. It sounds to me like somebody is having a hard time making a decision, and that would be the affirmation that they would need to say repeatedly over and over and over again without any thoughts of it's a lie. I move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step I take is perfectly guided. That is confusion and fear that is dominating this person's being, or at least one of these people's beings. So, say that affirmation, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, instead of thinking negative thoughts, instead of thinking about the things you're afraid of, or about the fact that you are afraid, or about, any of that stuff. If you start thinking those things, just start saying that affirmation and it'll go away. And pray, of course. Prayer helps. The word of the day is wholeness. This is about a human being whole. And wholeness is something that we all strive for, maybe, maybe not. I'm thinking that there are actually a lot of people that don't strive for wholeness. I've tried to strive for wholeness, uh, unsuccessfully at times and successfully at times. I think I strive more for it now than I ever have in my life. Um, Basically, wholeness is feeling complete, feeling balanced, feeling good. And I think it requires work because it's whatever you define as, well, I mean, there is a basic for it. It's eating well. It's taking care of yourself. It's sleeping well. It is having a study, something, to keep your mind busy. It's being successful. It is, maybe starting a business, if that's part of your wholeness definition. Or maybe you're a stay at home mom and you want to raise your children and your family in a healthy, natural way, and that is your definition. That would be part of your wholeness plan. But wholeness is many different things in your life kind of coming together and creating you, creating the perfect you. So if you're struggling in one area or another, figure out what wholeness is to you. And that does not mean drowning in a bottle of alcohol. Okay. The angel card for the day is comfort. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present. I love you, I protect you, and I keep you safe. Accept my love, allow it to dissolve your fear, and breathe into tomorrow. And this is very much a reading of fear. And Archangel Michael would be terribly helpful at this time for these people. The self-care card for today is clearing. Clear the clutter. When in doubt, throw it out. And that would be for many different types of clutter. Okay. That would be physical space. So your area, your living areas, closets, cabinets, drawers, anything like that. If there is stuff all around you, it is very difficult to stay clear mentally, emotionally. All that stuff weighs you down. Everything has energy. So if there are things around you that are not giving positive energy, you have to clear that out. If there's things that are sitting in the corner and they're just collecting dust and stagnant and you have to continually dust them, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Don't hang on to things because you feel like you need to. There is no reason why you need to hang on to anything. And I've heard many people say, oh my God, I can't get rid of that. That was my great-great-great-grandmother's. Get rid of it. Seriously, get rid of it. The energy that thing is carrying is toxic. It's not a positive thing in your life. If you have it in a very prominent place and you adore it and you cherish it and every day you look at it and you think, God, that's so beautiful, that is something that is valuable in your life. But if it's sitting in a box in a corner, that is not valuable to you and probably not to anybody else. So get rid of it. Mental thoughts. Get rid of the thoughts that you're thinking. If your thoughts are not making you feel better, get rid of them. Stop thinking them. Stop thinking about the things that make you afraid or the things that make you feel bad. That goes back to wholeness. You want thoughts. You want, your environment, your area, and the things that are going on in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. You want all those things to be positive. You want all those things to be something that creates this wholeness where you feel complete. You don't feel angry. You don't feel scared. You don't feel none of that. Okay, so clearing, very, very big. Comfort, you got Archangel Michael, who's comforting you. I'm going to move these out of the way because I don't have much room over here. Okay, so the read. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't pull my runes. I got to pull my runes. Runes for the read. Wow. Oh, only one came up face up. And that's what I said wow about. Okay. So, the read. This read is about somebody who is having a difficult time making a decision. And they are filled with fear. they have already made decisions, and those decisions were very, well, I'm not going to say they were bad, but they were unfulfilling for this person. Um, it looks like possibly they had one or two people in their past that uh, probably the biggest part of the problem here is the fact that this person needs to be alone. But this person, it looks like there was a couple people in the past, maybe three, but for sure two. And this person chose one of those people. And they may have chose by not choosing, or it's hard to explain. It's kind of like they may have just not done something or made a move in a direction or put something together that they thought they wanted to put together, and they ended up making a choice that they were unable to make before just because of circumstances, um, or their inability to choose on their own or choose previously. So um, this is being in denial, walking away, um, choosing something different. This came out in the opposite, the reverse, which would be a fear of a situation. This would be um, a fear of being alone, pretty much, a fear of I think that's probably it. This person has a fear of being alone, and they are with other people because they're afraid of being alone. But that's exactly what they need to do. The exact thing that they need to do is to be alone. They need to figure out, they need to spend time alone so that they can figure out what it is they want, because they don't know what they want. They think they know. They don't know what's wrong, really. They don't know why they feel the way they feel. They're very confused, and they're afraid. They're afraid to be alone, and they're making choices that are not good for them because they've never spent time alone trying to figure out what it is they actually want. It's almost like they've had this life of just, like maybe too many options. Maybe they've always hung on to their options. Um, and I'm thinking that it's almost like the same options. There may be like 5 people that this person has always generated towards 5 people, and they just move around between these 5 people, like when things start kind of not working out with this person over here, then they go over here and they get with this person, and then that one doesn't work out, they go over here and they get with this person, because they don't want to be by themselves. They don't want to be alone. So they're always in something, but they don't really know why they're in it, and they don't even know if they want it. So it's causing a lot of problems in their life. And it has actually caused a lot of problems in their life. The challenge um, that comes up is that there's no love. This is if it comes up in the right upright position, it is like a new beginning in love. So it looks like maybe this is no new beginning in love. So it looks like possibly this person, based on this spread, I'm thinking this person had a couple people that they were with. Then, like maybe they were playing the field. And then they didn't choose. They didn't outright choose. They just neglected to do something or to follow through on one of them. And the other one, um, they went towards that other one. So now they're with the other one, and they are not totally content, I don't think. Um, there is a Queen of Wands in the uh, intention. So I don't know if they're with this Queen of Wands or if they're going to this Queen of Wands, but this Queen of Wands um, is their target right now. New relationship, love, pregnancy, marriage, birth, compassion, spirituality, creativity, new beginnings. So that is their focus. In the past, it's been very slow. They really haven't been doing much. Um, it looks like they've been doing a bit of thinking. Uh, they've got down here in the subconscious no wishes and desires. So I'm thinking that this might be the other person that the other person possibly that they were with, they're like realizing that that person doesn't have a desire to be with them. Um, that's what it looks like. It looks like possibly. So they've decided that this Queen of Wands is that's their intention. Their intention is to stay with this person uh, or be with this person. So I don't know if they're with this person now or not, but they're going towards this person with an offer of love. And in the future, it shows that there is great regret, crying, uh, strife, not being happy. It's the Five of Cups. This is the one where uh, Five of Cups, there's three cups here that have fallen, and he's focused on those three cups that have fallen. And the two cups back here are the cups that have not fallen and they're still standing. But he's got his back to them, so he's not really paying attention to them. So there's something wrong because there's all this love that is going to be directed. They intend to direct in this direction to this Queen of Wands, but their near future shows that there's regret and sadness and crying. And the reason is because good health, healing, hope, faith, inspiration, miracles, spirituality, and creativity. So something, I'm going to have to say that this other thing possibly, or this other person that they did not choose, or possibly another one, because it seems like there's a couple here, quite a few. Anyway, one of those is actually maybe the one that they were pulling towards or that they really wanted to be with, but that person, whoever that person is, does not have a desire to be with them. They're totally disconnected. Um, the what to do is they need to face their fear. They need to realize that they have a fear of being alone, and that the choices that they're not making these choices because they really love uh, these people, or um, they really need to do some healing. They need to do some serious healing. I don't think this person can really um, say that they love somebody and be honest about it, because um, they're not healed. They have a lot of emotional stuff they need to deal with. They really need to spend some time alone, get everybody out of their energy, and I mean literally everybody, past, present, and future. And they need to realize that they are fine on their own, and get really honest with themselves about what they want and who they want and how they want it. Uh, they need to really figure out what exactly it is that's going to make them happy. And they may find out that being alone is what actually makes them happy, because it's not appearing like they've ever been alone. I'm not even sure they know who they are. But healing is a key. And the, the healing that this person would need to do is um, a whole lot of crying, a whole lot of releasing some pain. And that's going to be challenging for some people, especially if this is a man, because men are raised to think that they aren't supposed to cry. And that is what screws them up. They think that crying is a sign of weakness, and actually it is a sign of strength. It takes a lot to cry. And I mean, sometimes the pain is so deep that you literally cannot stop crying. You can't stop crying. But in the end, after a whole lot of thinking and a whole lot of crying on a single issue or a single phase in life, you come out the other side with this fabulous clarity and this incredible sense of relief. And you know yourself a little bit better, and you're not quite so angry and so pissed off at the world, or pissed off at, I mean, you can't have love and happiness and if that's what you're striving for, if this right here is what you are actually striving for, uh, love, a new beginning in love, and you want a partnership, you have to be willing to do some serious healing work, because otherwise you can't show up as yourself. You can't be yourself. You don't know who you are. And all you're going to do is just hurt people, because you you kind of like, you want to commit, or you want to be with this person, or you think you want to be with this person, but you don't really want to be with that person. And then you're with the person, but then long term you realize maybe you made a mistake, and maybe you don't really want to be with this person, and now you've hurt this person. Now this person has to do a bunch of healing. It's so much easier to just stay on your own, do your own thing, stop being so codependent on other people, and deal with your shit. Deal with whatever is going on in your mind or your emotions. Then when you involve other people, you can come together happy, peaceful, joyful. You want to be together. You know what you want and you go after what you want. It's pretty simple. It really is. It's pretty simple. But healing work is not for with the weak. It's just not. People who refuse to heal, they're weak. They can't handle it. They can't handle the pain that would come from doing the healing. So if you don't like being weak and you know you got to heal, then you need to switch the light switch on and start doing the healing so that you can be strong, so that you can be the person you've always wanted to be. But as long as you hide and run from healing, you will never be strong. You will always be weak, and you will always be dependent on other people, like these people that are basically controlling this other person right now. And they're controlling him. They're not trying to control him. They're not doing anything to him. I'm assuming this is a man. It could be a female. But they're not doing anything to these people. I mean, these people are not doing anything to him, I should say, or her. What's happening is they're so afraid of being alone that they're making choices that are not good for them, that don't make them happy. And they make these choices, and then 6 months into it or a year into it, they realize they've made the wrong choice because this choice isn't making them happy either. So they're like dragging these people along, with them. And I really think that all these people are potentially, still there. Like there's like all these people that are around this person that have been there for a long time, and they really don't necessarily like any of them, but they're doing it because they don't want to be by themselves. They have a fear of being alone. They have a fear of facing themselves. So they kind of collect these people that they don't necessarily like, but they really don't care because it keeps them from being alone. I had a girlfriend back, I don't know, I was probably, I don't know, doesn't really matter how old I was, but many years ago. And she was like that. She literally could not spend 5 minutes alone. And the reason that she couldn't do that is because she had so many demons, so many things that she had done that she was just kept stuffing in something and hiding from. She didn't want to face what she had done. She didn't want to admit the things that she had done. She didn't want to admit the things. She was married. She had a small child. She hated her husband. She didn't want to be with her husband, but she didn't want to leave him because she didn't want to have to stand on her own. She didn't want to have to be alone. So her solution was have another child. And that perpetuated over and over. And that is what happens. That's what happens. People are afraid to truly look at themselves and see what kind of person they are. And look at the things that they've done to other people. That's a hard one, especially when you're operating out of fear. When you're functioning, everything is functioning out of fear. You have a tendency to make some really bad choices. Bad decisions. Sorry, the incense is getting a little thick in here. Uh, Bad choices, bad, you know, even people who don't have an intention of hurting other people can hurt other people if they're not clear about who they are and what they want. So I think that's a lot of what's going on here. And this person doesn't want to get rid of other people. I mean, even when the end comes, they're still hanging on to those people. They don't discard the people that they don't want to be together with anymore. They kind of hang on to them. They cling to them because they might need them again someday. And that's horrible. That is truly horrible. So, the environment that this person is in is one of a new beginning and uh, being very focused. So, I don't know if this is a group of people or if this is a single person, but I kind of have a feeling that it has to do with this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands, it looks like she, uh, because she's the one that the cup of love is going to. This decision, it looks like, has already been made. Now, the Queen of Wands is typically, and she's in the upright, so she's typically a beautiful person. Inside and out, she's usually very popular. She's typically light haired, light eyed, but she doesn't have to be. Um, she has a bit of a she's fiery. She's fiery. She's motivated. She does things. She, gets things done. She may or may not, but she typically has some kind of witchiness about her. Um, she might even be a little bit on the masculine side rather than on the feminine side. Um, she's a little bit more action oriented. But it looks like whoever, her or somebody else in the environment, is actually working very hard to become an empress. Um, there was struggle, fatigue, paranoia, no compromise, stubborn, not enough support, exhausting, and retreat in the past. The current is confidence, hard work, ambition, overcoming, drive, willpower, success, victory. So this person is moving forward very quickly and they're working very hard. And the Empress came up. So that kind of tells me that whoever this person is, I'm thinking this is a female, but it doesn't have to be, is working towards being an empress. And an empress is somebody who embodies all of the queens. An empress is an all around, well rounded person. And there was something here. What was it? Oh, wholeness. Yeah. So, wholeness. Yeah, this would describe the empress or the emperor because uh, this person is working towards being a very well-rounded whole person who is nurturing and loving and patient and kind. So that is the environment, and there's this love up here which is absolutely beautiful. Whether this is a male or female doesn't really matter, but that cup of love uh, for that person is very nice. My concern is that the challenge card was also the Ace of Cups in reverse. So we've got the upright with the Queen of Wands in the intention category, and this is the challenge. So there has to be somebody or multiple somebodies that this person um, wanted to be with that doesn't have any desire to be with them. And um, yeah, so their basic second choice is very focused and working to become possibly the person that this other person wants. And then there seems to be one other person which isn't really at play in this right at the moment, but um, yeah, or there could be several someones. Uh, these two seem to be big at play. Okay, so the hopes and fears category is truth, honesty, morality. There is some big fat lie here. And this person is afraid that the truth is going to come out. I'm not really sure what the truth is, and I don't know if I really want to dig into what the truth is or who the truth is with, because this could get very freaking long. But the truth, not a good partnership, and that has come up twice. So I'm thinking that it's probably this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands who is being offered this cup of love, and it goes back to the fear and the confusion, afraid to be alone and confused. So this clarifier is the lovers in reverse, which is self-love, disharmony, imbalance, infidelity, miscommunication, separation, conflict, and trust issues. And ironically, that is the outcome of this read, which is the lovers reversed. Same exact thing that I said before. So this is not a good partnership. This is not something that this person actually wants. But I think they're doing it out of a fear of being alone. The outcome, selfishness, stinginess, undervalued, power, abuse, domination, scams, bad investment, and unpaid debts. And yeah, and this person or these people are afraid that truth, that it really isn't a very good partnership, they're just doing it out of fear, is the thing that will be known, that will come out. And I don't think this is the first time that this person has done this. I think this person has done this to multiple people. So whether it's a woman doing it to multiple women or a woman doing it to multiple men, I don't really know. It really isn't terribly gendered reading, with the exception of the Queen of Wands, but that could be either way. So I would say it could be male, could be female, could be, and these people could be males or females, but there are multiple people. And the bottom line is that one of these people who is making decisions about relationships, they are making these decisions for the wrong reasons. They're making these decisions because they don't want to be alone. And they're screwing up other people's lives because these other people don't realize that that's why they're making those decisions. They think that the decisions are being made like most healed, normal people would make a decision, because I love this person and I want to be with them for the rest of my life. Or this person is the only person for me. This person, I cannot let this person go. I cannot fathom the thought of this person not being by my side for the rest of my life, or their life, whoever goes first. Um, that's why you get into relationships. That's why you stay in relationships. That is what it's all about. It's about love. It is about deep, unconditional love. And if you're not making those choices out of love, you're making them out of fear. And that is the opposite of love. This is not what God intended. Uh, this will bring bad outcomes to a lot of people. Anybody that you get involved with. Anybody, and if you happen to be one of these people that is dealing with this person, you need to go slow. You need to test the waters, so to speak. You need to um, take time. Take time to get to know this person before you jump into something, because you want to make sure that um, what do you call it? Their intentions are true. That this intention here is actually something that is factual. This is the intention, but the rest of the read does not show that is uh, the uh, that's the intention, but it's not because they're in love with this person. It's an intention. It's a very good intention. It's an honorable intention, but they know that it is not a good partnership. They know in the depths of their soul that they are making a bad choice. That leads to both of them being hurt in the future. And the only person that is to blame for that is the person that can't be alone and continually gets into these relationships because they can't be alone. That's not the fault of the person who is, reciprocating that love. They don't realize that this person is being dishonest. They don't realize that this person is hiding fears. They are going into it loving this person and wanting to spend time with this person. And unfortunately, this person does not feel the same. They're just trying to avoid being by themselves. Being by yourself is a little scary, but it's not a reason to, you actually, when you're by yourself, you actually get to a point where you don't want to be around other people. When you're happy and healed and, things are going well, being alone is so much easier and it's so much easier. There are little downsides to it, but nothing that you can't overcome. Nothing that you can't overcome. And not being alone because you're afraid to, that's no reason to make any choice. Any choice like this. These are bad choices. And people will get hurt because of those bad choices. Okay, so we have runes. Now, the reason why I laughed was because Leo came out again. And it seems like Leo energy, Mars is in Leo. I looked that up the other day. Leo energy has been coming out quite a bit. Dramatic, outgoing, fiery, self-assured, gold, positive, fixed, and fire. That is Leo. The second rune that came out was alchemy. And this alchemy is to take. This is to take. It's kind of really hard to show those. Okay. Uh, calcination, dissolution, separation, conjunction, fermentation, distillation, and coagulation. That is the alchemy that is in play. And then we have, and I'm thinking this is probably past, present, future, but this is the final one. And this is, I believe, rune, and it is completion. Yep, completion. Ingas, completion, fertility of the joining of human beings. Usually for a new life, a pregnancy. Finish what you are doing. Tie up loose ends and start something new. So, endings and beginnings, basically. And that kind of goes along with, well, it does go along with what came up in the reading. And Black Moon Astrology, Susan Shepard, we have these cards. Actually, we have these cards. We have the vintage cards. We have these beautiful angel cards. We've got tons of cards. Matter of fact, I have, I think, about 30 new card decks, tarot card and oracle decks that I'll be adding to the webpage, hopefully today or tomorrow. Depends on my time. Okay, so the card, Black Moon Astrology card for today is beautiful. I love the art or the photographs on here. This is 7th house partners, number 31, which would be a 4. And 4, let's see, I can never remember what 4 is. Oh, 4 is structure, stability, manifestation, form, completeness, progress, and power. Okay, so marriage is neither heaven nor hell. It is simply purgatory. Abraham Lincoln said that. Bindings, whether emotional and domestic, or lawful and what is right or permissible, are indicated now. The 7th house is the area of the chart that represents the other. Since it is opposed the 1st house of the self, traditionally, it has been thought to be the house of marriage and marriage partners. And although this may still be the primary meaning, the other can also include friends, family, and peer groups. So it can mean significant others, such as co-workers. Since it's a traditional house of Libra, it governs fairness, balance, and the law. It is also the house of open enemies. When the 7th house card presents itself in a reading, it usually means one of two things: either the issues dealing with partners or significant others, or court issues and legal issues. The card itself is neutral, much like the actual 7th house, which strives for balance. So the surrounding cards will indicate the basic meaning, whether positive or negative, or something in between. So we have basically a positive spread with some rough patches. Somebody who is choosing partners because they have a need to not be alone, rather than out of desire or a true, honest, deep felt love of that person and wanting to be with them. And I'm thinking, I'm going to flip. Justice. Yep, justice. So the last couple of sentences, I was thinking that the this card actually is represented by the justice card, which is karma, which is it's basically it's karma. It's karma. It is um it is get ready because there's karma coming. This is where it gets really deep. It is physical court, spiritual court. It can be one or the other. Is looking at you. They're weighing a decision. Whether to give you grace or to block you off. It could be other people looking at you and making what do you call it? Like I don't want, I guess judgments or deciding whether you're a good person or you're a bad person or it can be you it could be somebody in your life looking at you and making that determination as well. um, it's a pretty heavy duty card, let's just say that. When the seventh house card presents itself in a reading, it usually means one of two things: either dealing with partners or significant others, or court cases and legal issues. The card itself is neutral, much like the actual seventh house, which strives for balance. Strives for balance. That is really important because a lot of people say they hear the word Libra and they see the scales in their mind and they're like, oh, well, this is all about, this person being balanced. No, Libra is not balanced. Libra is actually far out of balance generally. They have a very difficult time making decisions. They are constantly seeking balance. And part of that is through their decisions. And there's a big difference between being balanced and seeking balance. The card itself is neutral, much like the actual seventh house, which strives for balance. So the surrounding cards will indicate the basic meaning, whether positive or negative or something in between. The Pisces or Neptune cards nearby would imply that a relationship could be slowly dissolving or fading, much like a shoreline with the sea erasing names written in the sand. Misinformation or lying could be a part of it. If the card is referring to a court case or a legal issue, it's not time for that. Oh, it's not a good time for that. The end result may not be what you had hoped for or one that might drag on. Again, ending over time in a dissolving way with no real closure. The Scorpio or Pluto cards close by the seventh house card would indicate power struggles, and even ruthlessness would figure in. There could be issues of domination and control with these two cards. This could apply to partnerships and legal rulings. The Venus or Libra card nearby would sweeten this up a great deal. So, along with, let's see, along with the Sun card, you know what? Let me look and see. Yeah, it might be kind of hard for me to see that. It may take too long. Yeah, I'll just keep going. The Uranus and Aquarius cards close to this card would indicate dispassionate or odd partners, maybe even bisexual lovers or those from an entirely different background, or a court case could get disrupted or have an unusual or totally unexpected result. The Taurus or Cancer cards surrounding the card would indicate a full heart blessing in your romantic or domestic partnerships. And of course, we're not doing that, so I really can't look at them. It would also denote well being. The Taurus or Cancer cards surrounding the card would indicate a a full heart blessing in your romantic or domestic partnerships. It could also denote coming out well in a financial or at least uh, it can also imply financial or at least a material way in a court case. On a mundane level, the seventh house card can mean an engagement, a marriage, or a relationship moving to the next level, as in a partnership becoming more settled and gaining maturity. It can also imply getting ready for a more serious relationship. In the case of dysfunctional or unhealthy relationships, you can look to surrounding cards to see how they will fare in the near future. And I would say, if you are in that situation, get get a relationship reading. Seventh house card in brief is others, becoming more attractive to prospective mates, preening, flirting, commenting, committing to the love of your life, taking relationships to the next level, romantic and domestic partnerships, tying the knot, marriage, spouses, soulmates, duets, partnering, creating alliances, engagements, contractual relationships, long-term alliances, signing contracts, law and legalities, attorneys, legal help, court cases, justice, a fair outcome, negotiations, agreements, co-workers, open enemies, becoming whole through others, codependence, cooperation, the reason behind a partnership, societal expectations, judging, weighing, and balancing. Corresponding tarot card is justice, and the key ideas are marriage, partners, true love, the other person, rivals, open enemies, courts, and lawsuits. Yeah. So that kind of goes right along with the read. So there's a person or many people. I didn't say this at the beginning. Normally I say it at the beginning. So if you're still here and you're still listening, collective reads are human beings are the collective, and there are groups within the human beings or within the collective that fall into certain energy categories or certain energy types. And if you resonate with this reading, then you most likely fall into this energy group. If you don't resonate with it, then you probably aren't in this energy group. You aren't um, you aren't experiencing these things, and that's okay. It just means that this reading isn't for you. But if you're still here, I'm thinking it probably is for you. Anyway, and the only way to leave this group of energy is to work hard at healing and raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. I do have, I think I did a reading not too long ago about raising your vibration. Like if you're attracting people that you're not happy about, you're not liking, which maybe that's what's going on with this person, but fear of being alone, I think, is what's going on with this person. But if this person didn't have a fear of being alone, they could be attracting a whole lot of people that they're not into them. They're just not into them. They want to be into them, but for some reason they're not. And I don't know if that's because they haven't looked at themselves to decide what their type is, or maybe nobody is their type. Maybe they really need to be alone. Maybe they want to be alone, and maybe that is how they'll be really happy. Sometimes when we have a fear of something, that fear can be also the thing that is our biggest blessing. And being alone is not, it's not a curse. It's not something that, it's a choice. You know, obviously, with this person who has many, many choices, they're very blessed to have many choices. But I'm thinking that they actually just want to be by themselves. And that's okay. There's no, there's no, I mean, there's nothing bad about that at all. I mean, even if you want to be alone for a period of time, and it's nothing to fear, it's really no different than being with people, except you don't have anybody to talk to. No, you still have people to talk to. I mean, you don't have to be like totally isolated. You know, you can still do what you like to do, and get together with people who like to do things that you like to do. Being alone is not a bad thing. It's just not. And it's nothing to be afraid of, that's for sure. It's actually quite liberating. So I would recommend, if you're in this group and you have a fear of being alone and you are screwing with people's lives in relationships, trying not to be alone, please just be alone. It's okay. Do the healing and being alone. Love and blessings.